How's it going, folks? So today I'm going to be talking about the new album from Delain. The name of this album is Dark Waters, and y'all should know it by now. Before I get into that nitty-gritty, let's check out the cover. So boom, there it is. Take a look at the cover. I dig it. I think it's really, really cool. It's a cool style. All the colors are neat. I like the band name there up at the top. It just classy the way that there's kind of like a border kind of around. There's like a little intricate thing done up there, and you got this pirate gal there and dressed in all the cool garb with the pirate hat and all that. And there's like a little hummingbird over here with like a kind of like an old-fashioned steampunk sort of scuba headgear, diving headgear sort of thing. It just looks really, really neat. So I really like it aesthetically. I think it looks really, really cool. One thing though, that now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. I just see it every time that I look at it, is the way that she's got her like finger up here, like with her hand. It almost looks like she's got like a little, one of those little mustache things going on here. Almost like she's twirling a little, one of those thin little mustaches. So now every time, right when I look at it, I just see this little mustache, right there. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. And as far as does the cover properly convey what music you'll get in the album, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think you look at this and you expect some sort of a symphonic metal sound on the album. Perhaps it may give off a little bit of the seafaring vibes, and there's not really that kind of like seafaring pirate sort of Visions of Atlantis kind of style sound, not so much, but it, it does give off kind of an adventurous spirit, and the album does have, it does feel like an adventure. It feels like this journey that you're going on. So as far as that goes, but don't expect like piratey metal or, kind of seafaring kind of tunes or things like that. But for the most part, I think it gets the job done, so I dig it. But anywho, about the album now itself, this bad boy, it's basically got 11 tracks on here and comes in at about 51 minutes or so. But there's also all the tracks instrumental versions. So the grand total of the album is almost like an hour and 40 minutes if you were to listen to just all of the instrumental tracks as well. But the main album itself is about 51 minutes, basically 11 tracks here. And what you can get is a real nice symphonic metal that really covers a lot of different territory in the symphonic metal sound. You get moments of real bombast, you get some real epic moments, you get some heavier moments, you get some lighter, real melodic moments, more atmospheric kind of moments. So you really get a lot all throughout. And the good thing about all this is that it continues to feel fresh all the way through, and it's connected very well. Also, you don't go from like one song to the next and be like, whoa, whoa, this kind of just came out of nowhere. Now everything flows very, very nicely, and it all sounds great. The production is just top notch. It's mixed very well. You can hear everything really, really well. And for the most part, I would say it leans on the more light kind of melodic, um, like kind of adventurous kind of journey sort of, not journey the band, but like you're on a journey kind of sound. And it has a very, it's very beautiful, and it has a very just what's the word, magical kind of quality and sound to it, the way that you go through it. And like I said, you have other moments interspersed that kind of have a different sound, but I would say that's really the thread tying the whole album together, is that kind of magical, lighter sound with some great melodies, some great melodic kind of like symphonic elements and things like that. But then again, you do get some other moments, and I just gotta say, Martin Westerholt, he is such an incredible songwriter, because as I was listening to this album, I just kept thinking to myself that everything, it feels so deliberate and so well placed. And he's kind of like a songwriting surgeon, if you will. And I was thinking about that while listening to the album, and the reason I say that is because everything feels put together with such delicate care, and i- everything feels meaningful. Every little piece. And it's just so meticulously done, and it really, really is mind blowing. He's just a phenomenal songwriter in all of his pursuits. And I would say, if anyone listened to his other project, Eye of Melion, there's a little bit of that Eye of Melion sound kind of woven in here, a little bit. I would say there's a little bit more of that in this album than previous Delain albums. And I would also argue that this is the best Delain album to date, just as a whole. It just really, from beginning to end, it just sounds wonderful. It's wonderful to listen to. And like I said, the variety kind of throughout is really great. And it really captures the listener. You're drawn into the song and the spirit of the song, or the album. And it really is remarkable, how well put together and arranged that it is. And I also have to say, Diana, the new lead vocalist, does an absolute incredible job. They just perfect for the role. Her voice just has such a clean, crisp quality to it that lends itself so well to some of those just more airy and melodic, lighter moments. But then she also can really rise to the occasion, and has that strength in her voice to really carry the bigger, the bombastic moments. So her voice is constantly just moving along throughout this whole album, which, like I said, the album, it does not follow a straight line. It's just got this beautiful movement about it. And her voice, it just suits that so well, and she just carries the vocals and the vocal melodies so beautifully that you're swept away not only by the music but also by her voice. And that's how I feel like once this song starts, it's like it kind of holds you, and it just carries you along all the way through, for the large moments, for the softer moments, and everything in between. And it's really, really neat. The guitar work is really solid. There's some great riffs in here, just some great guitar work. Again, you have some heavier riffs. You got some lighter, more rhythmic riffs. You got all kinds of stuff going on here. The drum work also is just phenomenal, and the symphonic elements, the keyboard and the symphonic elements, all of that is really, I would say, the heart, of the album. It is what really sets the mood, what really sets the stage for everything. Again, it determines your mood as the listener. It carries that much power to where it, like I said, can be epic and grand and bombastic and hard hitting, but then it can be soft and almost ethereal and magical and like, not whimsical is not the right word, but neither is playful, but just it almost captures an adventurous spirit. It captures, like, almost like the imagination. When you let your imagination wander to these magical worlds, or all of it, it really captures that spirit of kind of the mind, and of wanting adventure, and things like that. It is just done so well. And it starts out here with track one, Hideaway Paradise, and really kind of eases you in, and that gives you a good indication on the how melodic and how gentle and beautiful the album can be. And then you get track two, The Quest and the Curse, which has some heavier moments, some heavy guitar. You get a little bit of growls in there, but the growls, if I'm not mistaken, that might be, if not if not the only song with some harsh vocals in there, but one of. But I think it's the only one. But yeah, but it suits it really, really well, and it's really got some grit and heaviness to it. And then you get like track six, "The Cold," which has this just incredible. It's a beautifully melodic song, and it has this grand uh, chorus, like choir. It has this grand choir kind of chanting, and it's just so epic. And then you get track seven, "The Moth to a Flame," which has a little bit more of kind of some poppy type of elements about it, just in the melody and the structure, and some electronic kind of keyboard, some electronic sounds and beats. And I dug it. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. Yeah, so it really runs the whole gamut here of just sound, and it like it just kind of has a life of its own, this whole album. And then you get like track nine, "Invictus," which is just quite the epic. You got some guests on this song as well, and it's just big and grand and just epic in sound and structure. And it winds down a little bit with "Underland," track 10, and then you get track 11, which could be considered, I guess, like a bonus song, but I think it does serve really well as kind of an end cap because it's a piano version of "The Quest and the Curse." So it takes one of the heavier songs and kind of brings it down, and it's just beautiful. Like I said, it's a piano version, and so it's quite a bit different from its other counterpart earlier in the album, and it just serves as just a beautiful melodic way to just kind of wind down from the album, and yeah, and then it makes you just want to jump right back in. So just a really phenomenal album here. I had high expectations, but I was really blown away by how well crafted the whole album is. Not relying on the singles or a few songs here and there. The whole album feels like it belongs together, and it's just amazing. I just enjoy listening to this thing very, very much, and I'm going to keep listening to it because it's just so great. So yeah, that's really my thoughts on that. And if you ask, what's a good song to check out to determine if I want to hear the whole album or not, like if you hadn't heard any already, I would say honestly you can go with any of the singles that were released because I do think they all give a good indication on what to expect and just the sound. And you won't be surprised by the album based off of any of the singles. Granted, if you listen to one that's a little bit more on the heavier or bombastic side, do know that a lot of this album just has also just a very beautiful, ethereal, melodic quality to it as well. And it's not just constant bombast over and over, which I appreciate. And that's why I say Martine Westerholt, has taken, and anyone else who contributed to the songwriting on this album just took such tender care in crafting something that felt almost like a story, and like I said, had all of its ups and downs, and not just like boom, in your face, in your face, in your face, bombast, bombast. How grand can we go? It's not afraid to drop down into the more just magical kind of mellow territory, and then rise back up again, and it's just done so well. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Let me know in the comments down below if you've listened to the album already. What did you think of it? How long have y'all been listening to Delain in general? What are some of your favorite albums? And like I said, for me personally, I think this might be their best album to date. I just think just as a whole, it's just wondrous, wondrous. So yeah, let's talk about it in the comments down below. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time, Ranger. Out.